Not too long ago, the gaming world witnessed a true peak in visual artistry. Think back to titles like Batman, Arkham Knight, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Battlefield 1. These games didn't just push the envelope of what was possible, they redefined it. Each of these titles brought a unique flavor to the table. Batman, Arkham Knight captivated us with its dark, atmospheric Gotham and fluid character animations. Red Dead Redemption 2 immersed us in a breathtakingly detailed open world that felt alive with every rustle of the wind and trickle of water. And Battlefield 1 plunged us into chaotic, historically inspired conflicts with visuals that balanced grit, realism, and cinematic scale. Back in the days of early console generations, every new release promised and delivered a massive leap in graphical quality. Each console generation brought with it an explosion of technological advancements that translated directly to more realistic, detailed, and immersive visuals. Developers were in a race, and gamers eagerly anticipated that next big leap. Graphics weren't just a selling point, they were a defining measure of a game's quality and potential. Fast forward to the era of the PS4 and Xbox One. While those consoles introduced their own moments of brilliance, many games began to feel more like evolutionary upgrades rather than revolutionary leaps. Sure, there were still standout moments, like when Advanced Warfare pushed the boundaries or when the latest installment of Call of Duty caught our attention. But on the whole, the extraordinary graphical jumps we once took for granted started to fall off. The days when every console generation burst onto the scene with jaw-dropping visuals are behind us. Nowadays, a lot of the visual improvements in titles are more subtle. Developers often implement micro-enhancements that, although technically impressive on paper, rarely catch the average gamer's eye. Instead of radical overhauls, we see incremental tweaks, improvements that hardly register beyond a quick glance. And while these changes might be interesting to hardware enthusiasts and tech geeks, they don't necessarily translate into a noticeably enhanced gaming experience for everyone. A big part of this slowdown in revolutionary leaps comes down to cost and performance demands. Ultra-realistic graphics today are more expensive to develop than ever before. The enhancements come with increasingly higher hardware requirements, and the performance trade-offs can be significant. Consider this. Many of today's games require technologies like Fidelity FX Super Resolution (FSR) or Deep Learning Super Sampling (DLSS) just to run smoothly on existing hardware. The burden is shifting from delivering a groundbreaking visual experience to barely keeping the lights on and preserving a decent frame rate. In many cases, the new technologies act as a crutch, a necessary shortcut that lets games reach acceptable performance levels despite the overwhelming computational demands of ultra-realistic graphics. This not only makes the gaming experience less accessible for players with lower-spec systems, but even those with high-end systems. This raises a critical question. Who are they making these games for if no one can run them? And let's be honest, graphics alone don't make a game great. Look at the evolution of indie and projects alike. While we get caught up in pixels, there's so much more happening under the hood that defines a truly immersive experience. Instead of channeling nearly all of our resources into graphical upgrades, shouldn't we be focusing on what really drives emotion and engagement in gaming? Games like Repo, Lethal Company, Marvel Rivals, and Schedule 1 are killing it right now. Do these games have realistic graphics? No. These games are simple, fun, and entertaining, making them great to play with your friends on most gaming rigs. We're not saying that pretty graphics are unimportant, they're still a crucial element. But balance is key. When graphics dominate the development focus to the exclusion of gameplay, narrative, and artistic identity, the result can be a game that looks impressive at first glance but fails to deliver an engaging overall experience. Players want to be swept away by an immersive story and a world that feels tangible, a world where every visual element works in harmony to tell a story. Take Arkham Knight, for instance. Beyond its striking visuals, it is celebrated for its fluid character animations and responsive movement, making every combat sequence feel tight and satisfying. Similarly, Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just about rendered landscapes, it's about how every environmental detail, the gentle sway of grass, the dynamic weather patterns, even the ambient sounds, creates an experience that is both expansive and intimately engaging. What's remarkable about games like these is how they manage to deliver breathtaking visuals without destroying your computer or causing drastic frame rate drops. They balance detail with performance, ensuring that the immersive experience isn't marred by technical hiccups. The result is a game where every action, every movement, and every scene is meticulously crafted to coexist in perfect harmony, a true testament to what thoughtful game design can achieve. While earlier games often had a unique identity, a distinctive flair that set them apart, many newer releases seem to lack that special something. Instead, we're witnessing a troubling trend where games are being created primarily to capture market share and revenue, rather than to innovate or offer a fresh experience. Consider the example of Batman Arkham Knight versus Gotham Knight. Despite being released 7 years apart, Gotham Knight falls short in every aspect, with fewer game mechanics, less vibrant color schemes, and lackluster animations. It's as if the essence of what made the original unforgettable has been diluted in a rush to churn out the next big product. This isn't just about sequels or remakes, it's a symptom of a larger problem within the industry. In many cases, the creative spark seems to have dwindled, and studios are unsure of what to focus on anymore. Instead of pushing boundaries, they're recycling old formulas.
What the hell? Oh my God!
Aiming for a broader but shallower appeal. As a result, gamers are increasingly left with experiences that feel more generic, less innovative, and ultimately less engaging. Contrast this with the incredible detail of Red Dead Redemption 2. Every element of that game, from the sprawling wilderness to the subtle facial expressions during dialogue, screams attention to detail and a commitment to quality. It's a game that doesn't just look good, it feels good, thanks to the painstaking care that went into every visual and mechanical nuance. Let's dive deeper into a critical issue affecting modern games today: performance. Many current titles, despite boasting cutting-edge visuals, face significant performance challenges. And this isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a sign of a deeper problem in the industry. You might have noticed that a growing number of games can only run optimally when technologies like FSR or DLSS are enabled. These features are essentially band-aids that allow games to perform acceptably, but they don't address the root of the issue. Instead of developing games that run efficiently on a wide range of hardware, developers often push the boundaries of graphics to such an extent that the game struggles to maintain a stable frame rate without those performance enhancements. This is not only required on low-end gaming PCs, but even on high-end PCs too. Many gamers who want to enjoy games in 4K still deal with this problem. Without using DLSS or FSR, 60 FPS can only be a dream. This trend raises an important question. Is this the result of a talent shortage due to widespread layoffs in the gaming industry, or is it because studios have lost focus on what matters most? It certainly appears that in many cases, the answer lies somewhere in between. With resources stretched thin and priorities skewed towards achieving the highest visual fidelity possible, many studios might be neglecting the holistic development of the gaming experience. Instead of a singular focus on graphical improvements, what if developers refocus their efforts on the core mechanics that make games engaging? Consider elements like storytelling, world building, animations that truly capture movement and emotion, NPCs' animations, and a visual style that complements the game's narrative. These components have the power to captivate the audience in ways that brute force graphics simply cannot. By shifting the spotlight away from purely graphical enhancements and towards refining gameplay mechanics and storytelling, we could see a renaissance in game design. Developers might consider investing more in creating worlds that are not only visually stunning, but also mechanically engaging and emotionally compelling. So, what's the solution? How do we move past this era of diminishing returns? The answer may lie in a more balanced approach to game development. While visual fidelity is an important aspect of any game, it should not be the sole focus. Games are a composite of many elements: a powerful narrative, immersive world building, finely tuned gameplay mechanics, and yes, stunning graphics that serve the overall experience. Imagine a game where you're not just impressed by what you see, but are also deeply engaged by the story. Every character feels real, and every interaction feels purposeful. That's the kind of game that stays with you long after you've turned off the console. Games that truly captivate the imagination and stir emotions. This balanced approach would mean channeling resources and creative energy into developing innovative gameplay mechanics, rich narratives, and immersive environments. It calls for a renewed focus on what truly defines a memorable gaming experience. Instead of chasing after the next graphical revolution at the expense of everything else, studios should strive to craft experiences that are engaging on multiple levels. The future of gaming need not be defined solely by whether a game can push the limits of photorealism. It's about quality of experience. For too long, we've measured success by the number of polygons or the precision of lighting algorithms. But the very essence of gaming lies in its ability to evoke emotion, tell a story, and create a world where you can lose yourself for hours on end. As we look to the future, let's consider this. What if our industry could strike a balance? What if the focus shifted towards a holistic design philosophy where storytelling, world building, animations, and character design are given as much priority as graphical advancements? By doing so, developers could create games that run smoothly, engage players on multiple levels, and remain accessible to a broader range of hardware configurations. For the players, this means more immersive, captivating experiences that aren't hindered by technical frustrations like frame rate drops or sluggish performance. It means worlds that don't just look amazing in theory, but feel alive as you explore them, thanks to refined animations and thoughtful design choices. One of the studios I really give credit to for doing their best on balancing their games is Rockstar. Titles like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 have really opened my eyes. The amount of details, NPC mechanics, animations, story, and all-around balance is a great example and standard for other game companies.